Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. Today is Monday, September 22nd. Today is the first day of fall. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful day and a great weekend. Okay, while you're coming on here, I'm gonna try to get everybody up here. Hi, Emily. Okay, there we are. So we had a busy weekend, or I had a busy weekend. My sister Tina came down and we had our Stampin' Sisters Holiday Hoopla, which is a demonstrator only event. We had 45 fabulous ladies with us all day Saturday and until almost 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock on Sunday. So it was wonderful. We did lots of fun projects from the holiday mini catalog and online exclusive items. So I can't wait to be sharing some of those things with you over on my blog, my Stamp with Peggy blog, over the next couple of weeks. But today we're going to do a different project. But before we move into that, make sure you let me know what you did this weekend. I also got to celebrate dinner or have dinner with my daughter and her son, oldest son, celebrating her birthday. So that was lovely. Tony went up and got to spend the weekend with his brother, whose birthday was on Friday. So we had a good time, good weekend. Thanks, Margie, for joining. Okay, tomorrow is September 23rd. It is a big, big day in the Stampin' Up! World. And I am going to just switch the camera around. And I think I put a post out about this already, but you do not want to miss it. It begins at 1 a.m. Midnight Mountain Time, which is 1 a.m. our time, Central Time. Okay, let's scoot this a little bit, get that out of the way. Okay, let me see my screen, how much or what you can see. Okay, I think we're good. Tomorrow, or like I said, at 1 a.m. is the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. Okay, this is awesome. I have not seen it in person. I got to see a little video of it. For the first time ever, Stampin' Up! Is offering a 12 Days of Christmas calendar or 12 Days of Advent calendar. It is nothing that is religious. And I know 12 Days of Advent or an Advent calendar, typically that's what it means, but it is a calendar. This is it, and it looks to be probably about that thick. And it opens up, and here's the inside. There are 12 little pull tabs with fun products inside. It comes with a stamp set, a 2-piece stamp set, which is cool. And then there's all different products. The products are exclusive products. You won't find them in any Stampin' Up! Catalog or online store. Now, that's somewhat the individual products you won't find in the online store. The calendar itself, yes, that's where you order it. The item number is 167335. Let's bring it up a little closer. 167335. The cost is $99. And I will tell you, the little sneak peek I got of the products, it is definitely worth $99. Okay, remember that you do earn rewards on that. So you would get $9.90 rewards on this, which technically means it's only $89, right? Okay, so this is something that I expect will sell out and sell out quickly. They say while supplies last. So my guess is it will not be a reordered item that will come back in. So that means you need to be ready right away. I am going to, I don't know yet if I'm going to stay up until 1 a.m. or if I'm going to get up early to place an order. I'm definitely getting one for myself, and I have some other items that I need to order anyways. So if you want help, you want me to place the order for you, please let me know and I will add it on to my order. You will get the 11% shipping I cannot do credit cards, so you would have to mail me a check, or if I see you in person, you can give me the money that way. Okay, so this is a big one. You do not want to miss this. It's the first time ever, and it's looking absolutely amazing. It's coming really, really early. It's not Christmas yet. If you can actually hold out until Christmas, God bless you, because I know I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to be opening, I don't know, it'll be here in time for October 1st, so maybe I'll start opening things October 1st instead of December. They are not Christmas items that are in here, but the items all coordinate together. So you know that I'm going to have some extra special little things once we get them all opened up, some products and tutorials. Maybe I will create a Facebook group for those who have purchased it, and we can gather together in the group for fun ideas and projects. I haven't put it all together in my head yet, but you definitely want to get this ordered. Okay, don't forget to, I did all of this just backwards tonight. Don't forget to like, share, comment, tag people, all the fun stuff so that we grow. Patty says not waiting to open. Nope, I don't think I am either. If it was coming so that it was close to December 1st, I would wait, but I am not waiting. What would it be? October, November, December, 2 full months to start opening it. That's not happening for me. Okay, last week's likes, comments, shares, all that fun stuff. I'm trying to do a little bit of house cleaning around here, or craft cleaning, right? So I came across a couple of older kits, good kits, full kits, and I will be doing more of this. So don't feel left out if you don't get in on this time. But the lucky winners of comments, likes for this month or this week, past week. First one is the Robot Buddies Kids Card Kit. So it makes 9 cards, 3 of each. Okay. Comes with this adorable stamp set and a pumpkin pie and a Bermuda Bay. So you know that's an older one because that is a retired color. Those stuck together. Okay. And then it comes with all of the supplies to make, including a block, to make the cards. Okay. Again, that's Robot World. And the lucky winner of this kit is Tammy Korzik. Yay! Okay, so Tammy, I will be getting this on the way to you. You will have it to be able to play with the grandsons, right? Okay, put that one out of the way. Second lucky winner will be getting and I'm trying to get it out of the box here. I will not be shipping them in the box, okay? Just so you know. It'll save me some money. Roberta, thank you so much for joining from Wyoming. Okay, so this one is the Birthday Sparkle stamp set. So it makes birthday cards, looks like 6 cards, and 6 different tags that you can tie onto packages or bags. You could put like a toothpick behind here and stick it in cupcakes for a fun birthday present or birthday thing, okay? And this one again comes with a clear block, comes with all of the supplies, an early espresso stamp and spot, and this fabulous stamp set with some fun like balloon or lantern things, happy cake day, it's your birthday, yay, and some fun little confetti. Okay, so Susan Temple, I will see you next weekend. So if it's okay with you, I will bring it to Fall Fest, okay? Save me a little bit of postage and keep it all together. Okay, now, time for the fun. Again, today is the first day of fall, right? I don't know about you guys, but recently, normally when you buy a Kleenex box of Kleenex or a package of Kleenex, whatever, they're somewhat neutral so that they will coordinate in your home. Recently, and this is really, really close. Let's see if I can back up just a little bit and still keep you in the picture here. Okay. Recently, when I'm buying Kleenex boxes, I'm sorry, but they're just a little gaudy with, it's like sitting them out to coordinate with things just doesn't work well. So I decided, why not make a cover for the Kleenex box? We have not done that in eons, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna decorate our Kleenex box for fall so that it coordinates and goes in our homes much better than it is right now. All right, just trying to get this all situated. One of these days I will have enough time to start trying to figure out how to do this. Right now I'm still playing catch up, getting ready for Fall Fest, getting ready for spooky sweet Halloween surprises. Okay, so I pulled these two fall stamp sets, Autumn, Amber Autumn, and Gathering Moments, okay? I wanted the Autumn Wishes from the Amber Autumn. And then I wanted the leaves and acorns from this one. And there was coordinating dies for both. I did use it for this, okay? I am also using the branching out dies for the opening of the Kleenex box. Well, yay! Jamie said she's never decorated a Kleenex box. It's so much fun. You could actually save it from year to year or throw it away and start over again. Okay, oops, and I just sent my dimensionals flying. We're also using the Gathering Together designer paper, okay? All right, let me grab my dimensionals that I just flung on the floor. Okay, so what I did to start with is I measured my box. It's 4.5 inches one way, and then some of them are a little bit narrower than 4.5. So I just went with 4.5 all the way so that I know it'll fit. And then it's 5 inches tall, okay? So, because it's fall, I'm starting with Cajun Craze. And I did, so these are 4.5. Here's my 5 inches, or 5.25, I think is what I went to make sure I had enough room. So this piece is 5 3/4. Yes, 5 3/4 inches tall and 10 inches wide. I've scored it 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay. And we're going to miter cut at the top to the score line, and then same on the side. We're going to get rid of that little square. Okay, then I'm going to miter cut the bottom just a little bit so that it doesn't hang over when we assemble. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So we're going to miter the bottom corner just a little bit. And then we're going to miter the top here and here. Okay. Get rid of those. All right. Then I'm also going to miter here. This is going to be the top where the top of the box is going to be added on, or the top of the box cover. Okay, so again, I just want to get rid of a little bit of the bulk there. We're going to fold it on all the score lines. Hi, Kim Wood. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Okay, and so we're just going to burnish it well. Hi, Deb. Okay, so there's half of our box base, okay? Yeah, at least I used to be able to find like gray, kind of weird shaped or whatever, but a gray texture type box, and now I can't find at all. All I find are these ugly toucan ones. I'm sorry if you like those, I apologize. But yeah, they're just not my thing. Okay, the other half of the box is also 5 3/4, but it's 9 inches wide. And I scored it at 4.5. Okay, so then again, I'm mitering in the center, and then I'm going to take a tiny little miter out of each end. Again, this will be the top end of our box. The flat edge will be the bottom of our box cover. Okay, Now, Linda Vanderspool, just for you, I need to pull in my silicone sheet because I was getting glue everywhere earlier when I made my first sample. All right, so on the 1/2 inch flap, we're going to start with 1, and we're going to add glue. You can use tear and tape. I would use something stronger than seal because you're probably going to be taking, if you're like my house and the amount of Kleenex that we go through is crazy sometimes. Okay, and then you're just adhering, so you have one long piece. Again, you've got 5 3/4 by 9 scored at 4 1/4. Excuse me, and 5 3/4 by 10 scored at 1/2 inch on 3 sides, and then scored at 5 1/2. Is that right? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold this so that I have this 1/2 inch. Okay, and then again, I'm going to put glue on here. Notice I'm barely squeezing the glue so that I don't get oodles and oodles and oodles of it. Okay, and we're going to put this together so that we form a cube. Okay, so now we have, and I know it's really hard to see down through there. Okay, and then we're going to end up closing this in and putting a piece over the top to cover the top of our box. We're going to have to cut an oval for the opening. Okay, but probably, nope, you know me, I like to assemble it all at once. Okay, so I'm starting with a 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 square of Cajun Craze. Then I took a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of early espresso, and then a piece of the designer paper that has the leaves, kind of like the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. And I put that on. There's just an 1/8 inch border. Okay, I've got a little white something on me. Okay, but I'm going to use the branching out dies. I'm going to start with, I'm going to do the 2 smaller ones. Okay, I'm going to start with the larger of the 2, and I'm going to die cut an opening in just this top one. Okay, the bigger one on the top layer. Let me grab, I forgot to pull my stamp cut and emboss machine over here. Okay, and we're going to have to raise this up again. Sorry, we're going to get all wonky here as I try to fix that a little higher. Okay, we are going to open this up, and we're going to grab my plates. My plates are really grungy, okay? Okay, we're going to put this on here. We are going to center this. Okay, question being, do we want this to be the front of our box top, or do we want it to go so that the leaves are going sideways? You guys let me know which way you prefer. Should we do the leaves going up and down on the, as you look down at the box, or should we be going sideways? And I see no comments. Okay, I think I'm going this way. Get your vote in. Side to side. Okay, Annette says we should go this way. Anybody else? Linda says side to side. Jamie says up and down. Julie says side to side. The way I have it, Margie says up and down, up and down, up and down. All right. And I'm kind of looking at my other sample to go, Okay. And you know what? If I don't like it, I can always change it out, right? Okay. So I use some of the sticky tape on it to hold it in place. And then I'm going to put it in and crank it through. Okay. I'm going to wiggle around here a little bit. Sorry. Goodness gracious. All right. Let's get that thing out of the way. And I guess I'm not completely done with it though. Okay, so then we're going to pop this out. I'm going to save my sticky tape because I'm going to use that on the next smaller size die. Okay, so we're going to take this, excuse me, and I think at this point I can go ahead and glue this on, except you know what? I'm going to lay this in the opening. Okay, I'm centered around. I think I'm good there. So then I'm going to tape that in place. We're going to put this on, and I'm going to do it on the floor over here so I'm not shaking all over. I'm going to cut an opening, a smaller opening in the base. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take this off. Now, I'm not using it on this project, but great label for one of your cards. Okay, so kind of you get a twofer. All right, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere this onto the top of it. Boy, I need to run some tape over those plates. Look at how dirty they are. Did you know that if you take like packing tape for sending packages and you put it on your plates, you can pull it off and it'll take a lot of that stuff that grinds down into those openings right off? It's awesome. All right, Linda, where did I put my silicone mat? Okay. And we're going to look at that. How cute is that? So you have a pretty little decorative top to your box. Okay, now we pull our box back in. And now we need to put glue on all of these 1/2-inch tabs. And this is going to go right on top of our box. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my tissue box in and put that on. That gives me the stability that I want to hold that in place. And I'm going to start first by just putting a dot in each corner so that I can get this down. But now you do, Linda. You're right. It works really, really well. Okay, so that kind of keeps those held into place a little bit until I get the top on. Get that Kleenex out of the way. Before you make, I gave you measurements. This is for a Kleenex brand box. I would always double check your measurements to make sure that if you have a Puffs brand or an Aldi's or a Dollar Tree, boxes seem to all be a little bit different. I'm not sure why. I would think Kleenex are a standard size, but apparently not. Okay, and so I'm pushing down, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take it off the Kleenex box, and I just moved it. Okay, let's pull this in. Let's put it upside down, and I know my hand and everything is going to get in your way, but let's get some really good pressure. Yay! I'm glad this is something new for you guys. I used to, years and years ago, I used to do for like Santa's Workshop when I do that. I used to always make a tissue box cover, and I kind of forgot about it because for a while the tissue boxes were really pretty. And then, like I said, then kind of the start of fall, like in August-ish, all of a sudden it's like, oh, good Lord. Okay, so there's our box. Now let's make it pretty. Okay, so I took some more of that designer paper, and I have layers of early espresso. So we are going to, I know, Tammy, right? Remember the pencils? Oh my goodness. Who knows? I might have to bring those things back around. Isn't it all, we're all about the vintage and what's the other word that I want? It's not vintage, but there's another. Not rejuvenating, but yeah, bringing back all the old stuff. Okay, let's move that out of the way right now. So I did this on 3 of them. So the early espresso layer is 4 1/4 by 5 inches. And then the designer paper is 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 4 1/8 by 5 1/8. Hi, Mary Ellen. Retro, that's the word I wanted, Emily. Thank you so much. I'm going, oh goodness, I can't think what I want. Vintage makes it sound even older than retro. No, Linda, I am not going with antiques. I'm older than dirt now, but I'm not going there. Okay, and then, like I said, I did 3 sides with this. So you're cutting 3 pieces of your matte layer and then 3 pieces of the designer paper. And again, you could use a different designer paper print on each one. If it's directional, like this is, you want to make sure that you're cutting it the right direction, right? Okay. So now I want, hi Jan. Okay, that's going to be the front of my box. So now I'm going to bring it in, and the front is going to have something different. The other 3 sides, and you could make it 4-sided and have something on all 4 sides. Let's see. These leaves tend to go both directions, but usually one way is a little heavier than the other. Green glue is great, you know, because you can scoot it around when you don't get it in the right place. It's not a permanent fix. Okay, now let's put on layer 2. Okay. World Card Making Day is coming up. If you have not, and those who are coming to Fall Fest, remember you get the card kit as part of Fall Fest. But everybody, no matter if you're coming to Fall Fest or not, you want to make sure that you go on to Stampin' Up! And you register for World Card Making Day virtual event. It will be taped, so if you can't watch it then, you'll be able to see it later. But they are saying that people who are registered with them, there will be a free gift at the end of it. Okay, so you definitely want to get yourself registered so that you can have the free gift also. I have no idea what it is. Okay, so see, 3 sides are decorated, 1 side is not. Okay, we're going to scoot that out of the way again. All right, so I have the same size, so I cut 4 of the early espresso. Again, that is 4 1/4 by 5 inches. Then I cut a piece of the designer paper, and I don't want the leaves because I'm going to add a bunch of leaves. So I took the side that kind of looks like a wood panel, and we're going to adhere that onto here. And again, I love that I can scoot it around when I use the green glue. Okay, Then I took the Gathering Moments dies. There's a big leaf, 2 big leaves, and then a bunch of little leaves and the stamp set. I die cut a piece of the designer paper. So we're going to glue that right down onto there. Come on. Whoops. Okay. And then I do too, Linda. I love the leaf side. It's just a little busy for adding on some of the other things. On the card base itself, I think it's fabulous. I wanted just something a little more neutral here. Okay, so then I use Spotlight on Nature dies. You know that's one of my favorites. And I cut a piece of early espresso. That's just going to fit right onto there. I took basic beige with my stylish shapes and I cut a banner. I stamped the autumn wishes and then I trimmed it off on this side. And we are going to just kind of layer that right there. But I want dimensionals to do that. Let's see, I want to do here. We're going to do one there, and then I'm going to take the partial ones and pop those into there. Okay, I'm not going to stick it down quite yet though. Okay, then I stamped and die cut leaves in Cajun Craze, crushed curry, old olive that's just been re-inked, so it is super dark. And then I did 1 pecan pie acorn. Okay, so I'm going to adhere these things like that. I think we're going to tuck one of these. Come on. And that's why I haven't stuck things down yet, because then I can still rearrange them how I want. Okay, then we're going to tuck one of those up in there. And then we have our little acorn. And this is kind of where I was playing, going, where do I want that? Okay, this is coming out of here. You know what? What if we do that? What do you think? I think that's going to work. Okay, so now we're going to actually adhere them down, and I'm not going to do these with dimensionals. Okay, we're going to add this under here. Okay, then we're going to, and I may end up putting a dimensional on the top part of this, so I'm only putting glue on the bottom portion. And I think what I'm going to do, nothing else is going under this at this point. So let's get our dimensionals on here. Let's pop one in the middle because we're going to add some weight to it. Get rid of those. Okay. We're going to cover the end of that. We're going to come here. Okay. Then, and remember, we did add dimensionals to our little message sign. Okay. And I'm going to line that up over here, kind of even with the basic beige designer paper. I'm going to push down over here, but I'm going to kind of keep this up light because here's where we're tacking these under there. Okay, here's our yellow one. Oops, I didn't mean to go all the way up on that. Okay, we're going to put that one there. Yeah, we're going to go back in and add some dimensionals underneath there. And then we have one more green one that we are going to just tuck like that. Okay, and then I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm done with the green glue. Now we're going to bring some dimensionals in here. And we're going to put one right there for the acorn. Yep, we're going to put a little bit of glue on the top of the acorn. Okay, so the acorn can go like that, kind of like it just fell off the tree. Okay, now I'm going to take the backing off so both sides of my dimensional are sticky. I should have my pick tool, that would be helpful, but okay. So it keeps that up in the air. And then we're going to do the same thing on the yellow one. And we're going to tuck that up under there. And then on the leaf, we're going to just take a piece and we're going to put that up under here. All right. Then, and I forgot to bring a glue dot over, I've got a double bow that I had left on my workspace. So what do you think? Add it right onto there, onto our acorn. I'm going to go grab them. You let me know what you think, if that's where we should put it. Glue dots. Okay. This, we're going to get a glue dot on. And perfect for fall, right? Margie says, yep. Let's add that right onto there. Okay, let's pull our box back in. Let's add it onto the front of our box. Putting glue all over. Okay, look at how pretty that is. I'm just going to take it right back into my bathroom and decorate my bathroom. That'll be my first fall decoration that's out. Okay, of course we need a little bling, right? So we're going to put on some of the Cajun Craze and gold dots. Okay, I got a few larger ones. Okay, so let's, now it's a little big there. Come on, off my finger. Okay, so let's add a big one right there and a big one right there. Let's grab a little one. You know what? Let's put a little one on both of those. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we always want to go in odds, right? And let's add one here. And yes, ma'am, you could make one for each season of the year. Okay, how about a couple more up in here? Let's go with the mediums. Let's put one there. And then let's put one there. And then let's add one more big one right there. Okay? And we are done. Look at how awesome that is, right? Let's get this raised up just a little bit so it can all fit into the frame. Okay? Isn't that cute? Okay? But if we can do this out now, and then as we get a little closer to Halloween, check that out. We have one for Halloween also. So come October 1st, I could put this out, and then I could change it back again November 1st and go back to fall so that you get through Thanksgiving. And then who knows, we might have to make a Christmas one so we have that ready for Christmas. How cute is that? You guys like that? And I just keep moving them around, right? This one I came up a little bit short, so I just added a band of black at the bottom so that it would come down and cover the whole Kleenex box, right? Okay. Now you have a job. I want you to make sure that when you make one, make it however you want, and make sure you post it in the Stamp with Peggy VIP group. Okay. Oh, and that is crooked. There we go. Maybe. Don't forget tomorrow morning to order this, okay? 167335 for $99. And there was just, card sketch challenge. You have 1.5 weeks. Actually, you have 1 week and 1 day to get your card designed and posted. Currently, we have 13 participants. Yay. Okay. So again, I will post this on tomorrow's blog with the dimensions so that you do have those. It'll also go over onto YouTube, so you'll be able to rewatch the video even after it disappears in 30 days. Okay? You guys have a fabulous week, and I will see you next Monday with probably a Halloween project. We will be at that point almost October. So then we can actually do that, right? Okay. Yeah. You guys are having a good time with this, right? All right. Everybody have a fabulous week, and I will see you next Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.